This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. And tonight from the desert, the road trip continues to Chase Field in Arizona. It's game number 1 of a 4-game series. The St. Louis Cardinals and the Arizona Diamondbacks. And welcome to our Bally Studios here in St. Louis. And with Jim Edmonds, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Great to have you with us. And tonight, Jimmy, it's Carlos Martinez on the mound.
Yes, it is. And he has been pitching better. Not a win last time, but better. So tonight, he's going to have to really work hard. One thing about this place is, though, the ball does not move as much as it does in St. Louis, so he's going to have to make an adjustment.
Carlos Martinez, his last 4 starts, a 2.73 ERA. Last time he started against the Arizona Diamondbacks was in 2018. Now, speaking of the Diamondbacks, this team is snake-bitten. 1-13 in their last 14 games. The average barely above 200, low OPS. The ERA is near 6. Opponent average at 2.92. The former Diamondback hit a couple of home runs in his first visit to Arizona as a member of the Cardinals. He's in the lineup tonight. Baseball is coming up. Diamondbacks have been struggling lately, trying to snap a losing skid. It's a start of a 4-game set in the desert. The Arizona Diamondbacks, the St. Louis Cardinals. Game 1 coming up. St. Louis Cardinals baseball on Bally Sports Midwest is brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. And by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. It's a hot one in Arizona, 97 degrees, so the roof is open.
That's not hot. That's not hot in Arizona.
That's
Danny.
true. And it's a dry heat, Jimmy. It's 97. It's hot. But it can get to 115.
126. I've been there during that week.
So you just take it in with your finest beverage, head to the pool, watch a little Major League Baseball, and see Mike Schultz Club in action. Tommy Edman at the top of the lineup. Dylan Carlson, Paul Goldschmidt, the former D-back. Then Nolan Arenado, Yadier Molina, Tyler O'Neill, Edmundo Sosa, Justin Williams, and Carlos Martinez. John Duplantier. He's 1-1 in 3 starts back in 2019. This is his season debut. And he was called up after Matt Peacock was scratched from the start tonight. So John Duplantier will get the call tonight for the Diamondbacks. We've seen him in a couple of relief outings for Arizona. And that's a look at his pitch arsenal going back to 19.
Yeah, he's a big boy, 6'4", 229 pounds. You can see fastballs, pretty much a little bit of everything. The velocity in the mid-90s at times. It'll be interesting to see when you get a team that goes and studies a pitcher, all of a sudden it gets switched last minute. Maybe sometimes that's for the best for a team coming in searching for some offense.
No balls and 2 strikes on Tommy Edman. 2 home runs yesterday for the St. Louis Cardinals. Now with 4 this year, average at 275. And the 0-2 pitch right down the middle and a strikeout of Tommy Edman. And a look at the Diamondbacks defensively. Peralta in left, Marte in center, Josh Reddick is in right. Escobar, Ahmed, Rojas, and Smith along the infield. Vogt is behind the plate. Dylan Carlson is 8 for his last 23. Couple of walks. And he's driven in 3. Teams are so much relying on video. There's a fly ball into left center, and that's Peralta with the catch. That you do wonder about that. You know, if you don't have the recent video on him, you can go back and look at 2 years, but sometimes, and in many cases, it's not the same pitcher that you saw 2 years ago.
Oh, for sure. Definitely. If he hasn't been in the big leagues, especially for a year, he knows he's tried to invent some extra stuff. And he's got 15 games in the big leagues, but like you said, he hasn't pitched since 19. The only thing that you really need to know is maybe velocity, the run, and does he have a breaking ball or slider. So you have that information, but you go back to your minor league days and you go out there and you watch the guy in front of you The only disadvantage might be Tommy, and you go out there and you just play the game like you've always played it.
There's a strike to Goldschmidt. Nice round of applause in his return to Chase Field. One of the all-time great players in Diamondbacks history.
Just try not to overthink it as a hitter. This young man, he's only 26 years old, a 3rd-round pick for the Diamondbacks actually in 2016. So it didn't take him very long to get to the big leagues, but you know, he went to college, went to Rice, so he's got to have some good stuff, and that's how you have to respect it.
They could give our buddy Lance Berkman a call and find out maybe about Duplantier. We flash back, and this was September of 2019, the return of Paul Goldschmidt to Arizona, and he had a couple of home runs in that series.
Oh, and that is why you like to play in this ballpark right there. That ball's down and away, and you hit it, and it flies.
Ball gets away. Goldschmidt strikes out. The throw to first, and he's safe.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. If he wasn't loose, he is now. That's a straight whiff by the catcher.
So a strikeout and a pass ball. And it brings in Nolan Arenado.
It's a double whiff by the catcher right there. He whiffed the ball and whiffed the throw.
Yep. The Diamondbacks, it's been a tough go, looking to avoid matching their 2nd longest losing streak in franchise history. They lost 11 straight in 2004. The franchise record was set by that same 04 team. 14 straight losses just a month later in July.
It's no fun to lose, Danny. It doesn't matter how you do it, how good you are, how bad you are.
And that's pulled. It's fair. Escobar, long throw, and he robs Nolan Arenado. Takes a hit and maybe a run away with that play. No score. The injured list. Missed a couple of weeks, had a sprained ankle. Started Friday night against the Cubs. 2 runs and 4 hits, 6 innings, and eventually the Cardinals dropped that game 12-3. And there's a look at his Hyundai pitch arsenal.
Pretty much everything. Just what is he going to throw tonight that is going to be successful? I mean, he's basically got every single pitch. Velocity can vary from 91 to 97. And I think that's just like, we've seen the good and the bad, and we've seen the aggressive good and the kind of flat bad as you look at the Arizona Diamondbacks starting lineup.
We'll see Rojas, Marte, Escobar here in the first. Peralta, the former Cardinal pitcher, batting cleanup. Then Smith, Reddick, Ahmed, Vogt, Duplantier. And that was a look at Torey Lovullo. Needs 1 win to pass Bob Brenly, 303 in terms of wins for 3rd place on the club's all-time list.
That's quick.
Always upbeat, and he's going to have to be this year.
I played with him for a year in Anaheim, and I liked him. He was probably one of the best players in the country coming out of UCLA, if I am not mistaken.
We both were talking off air about how Mike Shildt handled the situation yesterday in his post-game comments. I thought he was marvelous in that.
I loved it, and he even got his wife Michelle in there, so I was like, I was pumped up for her. And then I thought that he realized, well, maybe I shouldn't be talking about her, and she's going to get mad because I got fined, and he just stopped. I love how like tactful he was when he was talking about everything. And if you missed it, you could look it up on social media. It is quite an interview. Trust me, I think it's even better knowing him and just listening to the things that he said.
Well thought out, smart.
Well, I think you get a different side of him, and that's what I think is really cool, because basically the whole interview was on there, and you can kind of see a different personality, or his personality, come out a little bit. And I think that's something that every fan should probably see.
Ground ball hit to Tommy Edman for the first out off the bat of Josh Rojas. Around the Horn is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers, and welcome back Tyler O'Neill. He's in left, Dylan Carlson in center, Justin Williams in right. Arenado, Sosa, Edman, Goldschmidt on the infield. Yadier Molina is the catcher tonight. Ketel Marte, a switch hitter, 333 the average, couple of home runs, and he has driven in 7. Sits safely in 9 of his first 11 starts. Had a strained right hamstring, so missed some time, and back in their lineup. And a strike. And that got the home plate umpire nothing at 2.
Just doing a little research on Martinez, and I noticed that we talk about how the fastball usually sets up everything, and when he gets in trouble, he really lets it go. He throws a lot of cutters and a lot of sliders. The teams are just hitting 160 off of his fastball. That just goes to show you how electric it can be. But he gets into times when he can't throw it for a strike. A little bit better off the sinker, but the cutter and the curveball, teams are hitting 355 off the cutter and 600 off of his curveball.
And he had success on lefties with the cutter. There's the breaking pitch and a strike, and the first strikeout for Carlos Martinez.
But he's turned into more of like the slide. The cutter's gotten bigger and it's become a slider, I guess. So that's kind of a mixed bag with the, like I said, you only got 34 at bats or 34 cutters thrown, and I said 12 for 34, but I was just kind of shocked at that because that cutter used to be so good. So, I don't know if the cutter has now in the computer turned into a slider a little bit more, so it's kind of confusing.
See what he does with a lefty. If he throws it a little bit more often to a lefty, which he was doing a few weeks ago.
Well, the key for him is to stay closed, and you saw him just fall off the mound right there, and that is because you get to a point, and especially in Arizona where the ball is not going to move as much. It's kind of a little bit less, less movement than you'd get at home. Not as bad as Colorado, clearly, but you definitely get less movement. And so if you try to make things happen, make things move, and you start falling off and opening up and thinking you're going to make the ball move, you're going to flatten out, and that's when you get hurt. And I think that's what happens when you go to Arizona and Colorado's. And just instead of staying square and just throw your pitches in good locations and know they're not going to move as much, guys try to invent things and then they get in trouble.
And with the roof being open, I'm assuming the paneling in as well. And if you have that, the ball flies.
Well, the ball just flies anyways. It's hot, but you're right. It lets a little bit more air in there.
There's a little cutter. And there's the paneling wide open. Roof is open. Hot night in Arizona. So again,
was that?
You think about the ball
middle
flying.
Window right there, or the left window that Mark hit the ball through? Do you remember?
I think it was both. Lined into the shift and the glove of Tommy Edman. 1-2-3 go the Diamondbacks. Yadier Molina leads it off. Complete your next visit to Busch Stadium. Buy and manage game tickets, redeem offers, access exclusive content, much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. Let's turn to Jim Edmonds' Toyota, key to the game.
Well, this is a big ballpark, even though the ball flies. And I'm going to have to say with the offense, the key today is to stay up the middle, use the gaps, use the big part of the game, and let the home runs come. I think sometimes when you come into this ballpark and the ball flies and you know it flies, you try to juice balls when you can't. So stay up the middle. The ball will fly if you hit it on the nose.
And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Always felt in watching it just a bunch of games over the years, when you go to the National League West, so whether it's Colorado, Arizona, the Giants, the Dodgers, San Diego, you better have a center fielder that can go get it.
You ain't kidding.
It is big. We talk about the home runs.
The only place that makes you feel comfortable is LA, because it's only like, it's weird because it's the old school shape. It's really just perfectly round, and it's only like 398 to center, 400 maybe. I don't even know what whatever it is, it looks a lot smaller than everywhere else, and the gaps are small, and it just feels so good to stand out in center field in LA.
And you'll have the home runs, don't get me wrong, but it's the balls in the gap. To your point, you got to have guys that can run and go get it.
Well, I was told early on in my career when we first started playing in interleague that in Colorado especially, that the singles and the walks do more damage than the home runs. And they were saying that the deeper guys play so deep there, and they're more worried about the ball getting over their head, that most balls just fall in front of everyone. And so back in the day, you would see like 20 hits, 16 hits, and I mean, sometimes the scores would be out of control. But sometimes they were just like 7-5, 7-8. But one team would have 20 hits, and the other team would have 14, and they're all just hits. There was a couple homers.
There's Tyler O'Neill. So in 30 games, he's got 18 driven in and 8 home runs. He's already been on the injured list a couple of times. If he can stay healthy, you love how those numbers project out. O'Neill,
watch where this one
back.
Goes.
Left center. Adios. Welcome back, Tyler. 2-run bomb. Holy smokes. 2-0 Cardinals. Nissan drive of the game.
This is a homer. This ball hits the scoreboard, Danny.
Oh yeah, high up on the board. Wow.
That is way up there.
I guess he didn't need a rehab assignment.
You normally don't. To be honest with you.
Sosa chops it left side. And the first out here in the second.
To be honest with you, when you get hurt or when you take a week off or you have a little stint on the DL, you kind of just, unless you're really, really hurt, you recharge a little bit. And guys, you don't really need it. If you've been playing this game for so long, you take a couple days worth of swings and go out there and play. Your body can speed it up. That's why I think when anybody that tells you that you need to some days get game speed action to be able to play in a game, it's the biggest farce in the world. And anyone that tries to speed up games in practice and tries to get kids or grown-ups to like hit 95-mile-an-hour fastballs during a game, during practice, is completely lost. And that just goes to show you right there, you know how to turn it up a notch once you get healthy. And I feel like you're always stronger and feel better, and you do less and you hit the ball farther. That's exactly what just happened right there.
Okay.
Try to do anything difficult.
I don't want you to look. Justin Williams at the plate. And a ground ball handled easily by Smith. Distance of the home run, what do you think?
450.
I am shocked at this. So they may have to go back and redo it.
You're going to tell me that it's under 420.
Yeah, 416.
Come on.
It's got to be more than 420,
it's way
430.
More than that. It's 410 to center.
Right.
And that ball's hitting the center field wall.
I don't understand that one.
That ball, you can't see at home what we're looking at, but it hit right below the scoreboard. I can't see what that says in dead center field, but it is a long way.
So we have a monitor that gives us what we call the all nine, so we can see at least a view of the field. And you don't see many hit off the scoreboard. There's the black hitter's backdrop that you have, and then the scoreboard above that, and he hit it off the scoreboard.
The bottom of the scoreboard. There used to be a little app that told you how big everything was, and I don't think they do that anymore, but that's got to be 410 if I remember correctly to center.
Martinez, a base hit into center.
Got it. 407. I was going to say 412, but it's been a while. So you're telling me that 407 to center, and he hit it. That scoreboard has got to be, as you watch Martinez, and this is it right here. Base hit, right? Playing deep. Ball just falls in. You're telling me that 407 in center, and he hit it, and you know this more than as well as I do. That scoreboard's 30, maybe 40 feet high in the air.
It's really high. Yeah.
Really high. Like it would take effort to throw a baseball up there from center field.
There's Tommy Edman, struck out his first time up. The 1-0 pitch. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes on Edman.
And I know we're talking a lot about the distance and the field, the way it looks, and we're sorry that we can't give you exactly what we're talking about all the time. Is we have what's called a world feed, and that means that the Arizona Diamondbacks are in control, and so we don't have a lot of control all the time, and they can't hear what we're talking about a lot of the time. So we have less control of the cameras than usual, but we're getting the game feed as if it was going to be like a World Series game where they're going to shoot it from both sides. Am I not correct?
Yeah, you described it beautifully.
So we're sorry that you can't see the discrepancy in the home run distance.
I would agree. Discrepancy is the right way to put it. There's no way that's 416. Tommy Edman pops one foul and out of play.
Well, I can promise you with every bit of knowledge, 17-year career, that's not 416. Because that was a bomb.
And having been there a number of times myself,
that ball.
I mean, I've seen a few off the scoreboard in BP.
Batting practice. I was going to say. I was actually going to say I've hit some balls up there and where literally the scoreboard has color, and it's a long way. And he hit it almost to that. But I think comparable to where he hit that ball would almost be to the walkway to the left of our field's grass.
I think so.
So the center field grass.
I think so.
And then up on the walkway close. Maybe not all the way up there, but close.
The only one I've seen actually 2 hit up there. Pete Alonso hit one there.
There you go. So right underneath the Nike sign at the bottom, that's where he hit that ball. So you're telling me that's 413 down there.
Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Forgot
Pete
about
Alonso
that gap.
in St. Louis did it. And the outstanding first baseman of the Braves, Freddie Freeman, hit one up, up on the berm, up to the concrete at the batter's eye at Busch Stadium. There's a base hit for Tommy Edman.
Well, how about the ball that Tommy Edman hit yesterday? They gave him 430.
Right.
That ball's a lot farther.
This is how you beat the shift, isn't it, partner?
This is a great piece of hitting right here. This is Tommy slowing down and getting a ball that he can just put in play. It's a really nice job right there. Just another 6-pitch at bat, by the way.
Yes.
Tommy 2 bombs.
There's Dylan Carlson. Al was all over that on the pregame show. Tommy 2 bombs.
He was watching yesterday. It's kind of like Tommy 2 gloves when you go golfing. Are you like that guy?
I'm not that guy.
You're not that guy. We all have a friend that's that guy.
Get the papers. Get the papers. That's a famous movie I'm telling you about. I'm leading you into Goodfellas.
I'm well aware of where you're at. I have a feeling that this young man, Dylan Carlson, is going to let one fly today.
I was just thinking that.
Because he just missed that first one.
Yep, that's the way I look at it, too. I always look at the first pitches they take, the swings, and you get an idea of maybe how the game may go for them.
And I think sometimes when you go to this ballpark and you get a good vibe from it because of the ball, the way it carries, and you don't have to do as much.
Carlson has hit just 165 on the road, but boy, has he been good at home. On deck, Goldschmidt, runners at first and second. Dylan overall batting .278 to start a play. Two. Runners off with this next pitch on the 3-2. Paul Goldschmidt on deck, so he's going to get a pitch to hit right here, you would think.
You would think.
And that's spoiled.
I was just made aware that Mrs. Schilt is listening to the game tonight, so we better be careful.
She doesn't miss any games.
She is on our tail if we do anything wrong. just like her husband. Try not to get fined. Find it weird that Carson Kelly's not playing tonight.
He's coming off a broken toe, and I got to wonder if it was just maybe a day.
A day, yeah. Maybe the sinker of Carlos.
Could be problematic. By the way, Carson Kelly is off to a fabulous start.
And he had a great year last year, didn't he? Was it the year before? But he has done a really nice job, and he's gotten a chance to play.
The 3-2 pitch, and the base is loaded for Paul Goldschmidt. And already here in the second, a visit. Matt Hergis, longtime big leaguer.
Longtime big leaguer. I believe played about 11 years. A bunch of different teams. Gotta love it, to be honest with you, when you have a guy come out to talk to you that you know has been in the trenches. Say it all the time. The guy's gonna walk out there, and you literally can watch his career on the internet if you want to. Know what kind of pitcher he was, know what kind of player he was. Spent 11 years in the big leagues pitching. That's a pretty good feat. Spent a few of those in Colorado. That's even a more it's even more impressive.
Goldschmidt fans on both sides tonight. Arizona and St. Louis. All loaded up for the Cardinal first baseman, and he takes a ball low. Tyler O'Neill's 30th career home run. 2-0. Goldschmidt trying to add to it. They're all loaded up. 2 balls and no strikes.
Tell you what, I don't know if he realizes where he's getting himself into trouble right here, but the wrong guy you want to get behind to, especially in this ballpark.
Goldschmidt struck out swinging first time up. The 2-0 pitch. 3-0. Arenado on deck. Oh boy.
Yes, you do.
Oh, there's no doubt. Green
You
light.
give him the green light.
Go right ahead.
It doesn't even have to be asked. He might not, though, because of the sinker. Depending on how comfortable you feel at the plate.
3-0 pitch. And he walks in a run. Back-to-back walks. And the batter will be Nolan Arenado. So the Cardinal third baseman digs in with the bases loaded. Our Kia player profile brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Highest OPS against Arizona all time. It is a who's who on this list. Bonds, Helton, Arenado, Blackman, and Chipper Jones, the Hall of Famer. 40 doubles, 27 home runs for Arenado against the Diamondbacks in his career. First pitch to him. Arenado pulls it foul.
That's a good running fastball right there. That was the reason I would say maybe not 3-0. You want to run yourself into getting jammed if you think that ball is going to run that much.
Nolan is the 9th man to come to the dish.
Danny, I was just looking at Carson Kelly. He's had 131 at bats with us. No home runs. 10 RBIs. He's had 600 at bats there.
0-1, and it hits the runner in foul territory, Tommy Edman, and he hops back up and he's okay. Thank goodness.
Thank goodness. But take a look at this. This is why you're in foul territory right here. But you don't want to get that close, especially with Arenado hitting and a sinker ball pitcher throwing.
That'll leave a bruise.
Back to Carson. He's got 500 at bats in Arizona with 29 homers, and he's really picked up his career. I'm happy for him. He's one of those guys that had to get somewhere else.
Arenado throws the bat. High fly ball into center. Marte with the catch. Tyler O'Neill, a 2-run blast in his return to the lineup, and the Cardinals have an early lead. Runs, it's a St. Louis lead. 3-0 our score, and let's check in with Jim.
Danny, Mike Schilt made his views on Hatgate very clear last night in his post-game Zoom. Schilt basically said baseball has bigger problems to worry about than sunscreen and rosin on a player's cap. Today, Schilt was asked if he had gotten any feedback on his comments. He said there were a fair amount of industry people that reached out and were supportive. That was good. That was nice. I played a little phone tag with the league, but haven't spoken to the league yet. But Danny Schilt's post-game comments last night, epic.
They really were, and one of the ones that I took from it, I'm sure a lot of people have done that. Quote, why do I take exception to that? Because this is baseball's dirty little secret, and it's the wrong time and the wrong arena to expose it, end quote. And, you know, you're seeing spin rates jump across the board, and sometimes they jump start to start, or it might be a month-to-month thing, and you wonder, why is that happening? Well, probably a little help along the way. Peralta fouls it back.
I think somebody asked him last night about why he got thrown out, and he's paused and said, I might have been a little inappropriate.
He knew he was going to get thrown out.
So good. And then he said, I was going to give him my hat, but I got sidetracked. I was wondering actually why he came out there with his hat off. Weren't you? That would have been the last thing I would have thought of.
When he first did it, I thought he was just so upset.
Yeah, me too.
It was one of those things you take off your hat, you're going to chuck it or do something. But how about, you know, Gallegos right after that? He strikes out 2 of their best hitters in the middle of their lineup with the game on the line.
I'll tell you what he did last night was as good as anything I've ever seen. He accomplished so much by standing up for his player and then having a very calm and very knowledgeable conversation with the world, basically. And it's all over the internet. It's going to open up some eyes.
As he said, it's baseball's dirty little secret. Joe West had to come in. Now I'm going to give Joe West some credit here for not ejecting Gallegos, so not taking away from the competition of the game. When it was brought to his attention to take out the hat, it'll be looked at. There were balls taken out of a start with Trevor Bauer about a month ago. They were going to look at the baseballs, and they're supposed to be policing this. But if you're going to have that situation like you had last night, you might be taking the hat off of every pitcher that comes into a game.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, there is something on everyone's hat when you're a pitcher because, 1, these guys don't change hats. 2, your hands are always dirty. You're out there sweating. I mean, you have rosin all over your hand. You have anything that's on your hands, the dirt, the rosin, the sweat. I mean, you can go back and, I mean, can you imagine when Steve Klein was around? We wish we had a nice
hat in baseball.
We wish we had a nice picture of Steve Klein's hat. That would be awesome. But
there's another strikeout, this time of Smith after the initial strikeout this inning of Peralta.
I'm pretty sure that our fans are so knowledgeable that they remember exactly what Steve Klein's hat looked like.
There's Josh Reddick batting .227, no home runs, and he's driven in 1. Steve Klein's hat was loaded with so much stuff, whether it was sweat, dirt, I don't care what it was, but we had a hat day for him. It was the dirty hat
disgusting.
Day. A giveaway.
And let me tell you what, if anyone has ever worn a hat too long, you know it stinks a little bit?
Your hat.
I can't even imagine.
And Reddick pulls it foul. Martinez, he's got a little extra giddy up here tonight.
There
nothing in 2.
Come on. That made it through an entire year.
It's nice to have the picture of him holding up the right finger. There were other ones in his past with Tony La Russa that didn't see that finger.
What did you say? He was disagreeing with him?
Gentlemanly disagreement. Tony had gotten him up. It was against the Cubs a couple of different times. Never brought him in the game, and
brought someone else in the game instead.
Steve was on the bullpen mound, and cameras caught him with an unkind gesture towards his manager. And then Tony was asked about it. It wasn't like how you see the post-game interviews now. He was out in the hallway or in his, might have been in his office. And they
right
said,
there in the locker room. Yeah.
And they said, did you see what happened? And he was informed about it. There's another out. That's 6 up, 6 down. So Tony, full uniform and all, went into the shower to find Steve Klein and confront him. Roof is open. Along with Jim Edmonds, I'm Dan McLaughlin in our Bally Studios here in St. Louis. Great to have you with us. Little late night baseball. Next handful of games as the Cardinals play the first of 4 tonight against the Diamondbacks, and then we'll be out west as the Cardinals will be in Los Angeles. Yadier Molina leads it off. Base hit to center to lead off the second inning. He's hit safely in 10 straight against Arizona. Fly ball shallow left, and coming in to make the catch, David Peralta.
See how long that ball stayed in the air right there.
And it brings in Tyler O'Neill. We're doing some digging. The cat came in.
Maybe he hit that off the end of the bat.
Yeah, whatever. The cat came in and he has contacted some folks in Arizona to say, let's
come on,
let's find out about the measurement here and how you're doing this. So we may have more on that coming up. And a breaking pitch for a strike.
If he throws that again, he's hitting another one. That's his pitch right there.
He's been hitting breaking balls.
Oh my, crushing breaking balls. He's a little bit of a high ball hitter, don't you think?
I do. And if you hang that breaking ball, he punishes it. Little check swing, did not go. To the backstop.
It's like Brian Shapiro says. Tried the corner and he missed.
Tony never chased you down.
No.
Okay.
No, but we had some conversations, but
he left you alone.
To be honest with you, he has been in the shower a few times to grab some people out of there, but I think that there was a conversation in the shower.
He was full uniform going after Steve Klein.
Steve Klein one time later in the day when the bus was leaving in Cincinnati, we were late. Bus was leaving. We were taking a shower. There's still, 5 or 6 guys around. He ran into the shower and slid head first, thinking he was just going to belly slide through. And he accelerated and blasted himself into the wall. And I almost fell down laughing so hard. Because, he thought he was going to be funny, come cruising in. And he slid head first. And he must have hit soap or something. And he literally had to tuck and roll and this ended up in the bottom of that little, where the water all gathers.
Oh, yeah.
And just he got shot. It was
just kept
hilarious.
going. He was a piece
I know
of
why
work,
he
man.
did it too, because when we had Fernando Vina's kids, we were talking about they would come to San Diego and do the head first slides in the shower, and so we were talking about it. So he wanted to try it.
Well, he was a kid.
Didn't go so well.
What a beauty. He's been a long-time minor league pitching coach now with the Giants. A strike to Sosa, 1-1. He grounded out to third his first
Kleiner?
time up.
He was a wrestling coach too.
Did that a lot in the off seasons. High chopper. And Sosa for 2. 1, 2, 3 go the Cardinals midway through 3, and St. Louis on top 3-0. Would be perfect tonight. Well, you'll be able to get one. June 8th and 9th, Cleveland will be in St. Louis. It's the Cardinals bucket ad. Cardinals.com/promotions.
It's a pretty good little promotion, and you get to see a team you don't see very often.
Did see him last year, and then this year when they made the schedules, they rolled out the same interleague teams. But you're right, you don't get the chance to see him. No one saw him in person last year.
I was going to say, we got to see him on TV, but not in person.
Spinning from that pitch is Nick Ahmed, batting .215, 1 home run, and he's driven in 7. I've always liked this guy.
I mean, I was going to say, thought he's a good player. Not a .215 hitter.
Nope. Good defensive player. 1-0 pitch is a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. He is hitless against Carlos Martinez, 0 for 11, but has hit in 3 of his last 4 games overall. 6 for his last 10. Swing and a miss, struck him out. He struck out 3 of the last 4 and 4 overall. And that's 7 up, 7 down to start his night.
It's a nasty weapon to have right there. That change-up right-hander on right-hander is not normal to see for a lot of right-handed hitters. And so it is definitely a weapon because you were thinking sinker, so you're speeding up, and then you get the change-up. And you're left-hander, you're looking away, so you can stay on the ball a little bit longer and stay with the changeup. As a right-hander, you have to pull the trigger quick.
One ball and 1 strike.
That was interesting right there. It looked like he didn't want that ball, and yet he kept it.
And that's fouled back. Outside corner, didn't get the call. Telling you, Carlos got a little hop to him.
Yeah, he got it back. That's what he had. What was that? A couple starts ago, and he was outstanding. You can just tell when he's into it.
Yes.
He's got his mechanics back after that. I think that first inning got a little creative with his mechanics, and it looks a little bit better now. But like I said, the energy level is what you look for with him.
Outside.
It's kind of more what we were talking about in the first, when he's trying to throw it, trying to make it break instead of just throwing it and letting it happen.
Stephen Fote is struggling here recently. 2 for his last 21. Duplantier, the pitcher on deck. 3-2 the count. Let's see what Yadier Molina puts down. Looks to be a changeup. It is. Yadi couldn't hold on. He's got a feel for that pitch.
Good pitch right there. And that very easily can be his best pitch. I mean, he throws the fastball and the cutter. Keep you honest. That is his weapon.
Another full count delivery. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 5 and 2 in the inning.
That is why it is the worst to be an 8-hole hitter right there. You're still at the bottom of the lineup. You're hitting 189, and you're still getting changeup and curveball and slider with three balls and 2 strikes.
And 2 for your last 21.
Yeah,
coming into play.
You'd think he was going to. If you're a hitter, you're thinking he's going to challenge me. There's no reason he's going to pitch around me here.
Fastball and a strike to John Duplantier.
Probably one of the harder positions to hit in all of the big leagues would be in the 8-hole, especially if you're young.
In the National League.
Yeah, in the National League, yes.
Duplantier selected by the Diamondbacks 3rd round in 2016. And tonight his first start since June 11th of 2019. He's feeling it. I mean, I realize it's the pitcher at the plate, but you can just see how he's receiving the ball back, the way he's hopping off the mound. The 1-2 pitch strikes out the side here in the third. We head to the fourth, 3-0 Cards. Today, this truly will go down as one of the worst defensive plays in the history of baseball. That's Javi Baez at the plate. All you have to do is touch the bag at first. There's 2 outs. The run scores.
By the way, you still just have to touch the bag.
Turn it into a fielder's choice. All you have to do is go get a force at first base. The run doesn't score. Just run back. Doesn't matter if the run scores before he touches the bag. Wouldn't have mattered. That is unbelievable that play happened today. Truly unbelievable.
Well, what got me too is, did you see the effort of the 2 guys trying to catch the last 2 throws? That sums it up right there for me and maybe their season.
And where's the right fielder on that play? I mean, where is everybody in position on that play? That cannot happen.
I literally laughed about that for an hour today. That's like stuff you don't even see in Little League. That's like in Little League when you run out of the dugout and you say, hold the ball, stop.
Yeah.
But the effort that got me at the end was the effort at second base. Just the non-effort, like, well, you don't catch that ball, who's going to pick it up? Like, I don't understand that.
There's Justin Williams.
I mean, we could show that 20 times, and you could find 20 different things wrong with that play.
And the out taken at first.
I can't believe we just showed that, because now I'm going to be thinking about it for the next hour.
Pitcher. All you have to do,
seriously,
is go back and touch the bag. It's a force play.
I wish we could show that again, because we could talk about how late in the play that you can still do that. After the run has scored, if someone was standing at first base, all they had to do is throw the ball back to first. The run doesn't score.
Because, again, just to reiterate it, it's a force play. And he turned it into a fielder's choice.
And the second part about that was so bad was when he caught the ball, the first baseman, he was maybe 3 feet off the bag. As soon as Javier turns around, you just turn around, he could have taken a step and a half and been out of the inning.
My only guess, Jimmy, is that he didn't realize how many outs there were.
Oh, that would have given me a heart attack if I was the manager. I don't know what I'd have done.
And because of COVID protocols, the media did not go down into the dressing room, into the clubhouse to be able to ask him. They didn't make him available, at least to my knowledge, going on the air tonight via Zoom. So I'm not necessarily sure what he was thinking on that play.
I'm in shock still to this minute. The play lasted, I don't know how long, but for a solid 30 seconds, they still had a chance to get the out at first.
Now, through all that, let's give Javi Baez a lot of credit. What a great play by him.
That is. And you know what? To be honest with you, I was laughing as hard as Rizzo when I was watching it. And I was just thinking, what in the heck is going on?
Tommy Edman, a ground ball to first, and the Cardinals go quickly here in the top half of the fourth. 3-0 our score. The Reds, 10,000 fans ages 16 and older receive an adult mystery player replica road alternate blue jersey. Fans will be surprised with the jerseys of DeYoung, Flaherty, or Michaelis, courtesy of Old Dominion Freight Line. Tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. How about our guy, the Cat?
You know what? This doesn't happen enough, and this is a great story. So I'm going to let you just finish, but I'm going to tell you this doesn't happen enough.
So what did we say the original?
You asked me what I thought of the home run.
And what is the original total?
I said 450. And then when you told me they said it was 416, I said I will bet you everything I got to go against that.
The Cat, and we're back to the top of the lineup, made a call out to Arizona. Just doing some digging on, is this a StatCast thing, an Arizona thing, or is it a combination, whatever. And they stood by it initially. Well, they thought, well, maybe not so much. And it's now been updated. The distance of the home run hit by O'Neill is 451. That sounds right.
That was close.
Good work, Cat.
That is a nice job, Cat. You know, that's a lot of effort too. And by the way, a lot of people can just like write that off. I mean, that's not a big deal, but that's a big time home run. That's the distance of the day so far, I would imagine, and it's kind of a cool thing to have as a player.
You just want it right too. If you're going to do all these distances,
Told
that's
you I
inside.
had one of those in Colorado, and they just wrote me off completely. I'm not even on the list.
So the first base runner of the night, a leadoff walk by Josh Rojas, and that's how we start playing the home half of the fourth. Ketel Marte struck out looking his first time up. So Martinez kind of steps away. He was, you could see, getting a little rushed. Collects himself. Rojas in May had been hitting .365, so he draws the walk. Marte, though, in the month of May, batting just .173.
Tell you what, though, this kid's a good player. And to be hitting in the hundreds this early in the year for a month and still be hitting .327, it just goes to show you this kid can hit.
Martinez has already matched his season high in strikeouts with 6 in the first 3 innings. The 1-0.
Marte's got some sick shoes, too. You had to look up.
I noticed him the first at bat. I don't know how you couldn't.
I don't really know what those are. It's like kind of do a double take to see if it was Mother's Day again.
Well, I was wondering if they were doing something with that. There's a ground ball slowly hit. Tommy Edman will make the play. Rojas advancing to second base.
It's a pretty good cutter right there. Literally right on the hands.
That's been the pitch on left-handed batters when he's right and has had success this year. That has been an effective pitch for him.
Well, there's so many different ways to throw that cutter. You know, the Chris Carpenter cutter, which was the one that you couldn't hit, that was down at your feet because you couldn't see it coming because he threw in all the time. And then there's that type of cutter, which he doesn't, not a lot of guys throw it, but stays on the kind of the same plane and chases you. So it's like the Mariano Rivera cutter that just kind of rides. You know, it doesn't, you don't get any depth to it. And that's sometimes, I mean, I think the Carpenter cutter obviously was unhittable, but that's worse because that hurts. I almost would rather swing and miss than have that ball hit me in the fingers like that.
Rojas at second, the 0-1 pitch.
And that's what you get right there. You see it maybe anticipating something inside. All it takes is one guy to get jammed like that to wake up the entire dugout that's left-handed and say, gotta pay attention to what's going on there. That sound goes a long way, by the way. That jammed bat sound, broken bat sound.
See Yachty giving the signals from the catcher's position. And a grounder pulled foul.
Typically, you could probably just yell out there and tell them what to throw, but pretty sure that Josh Rojas knows a little bit about Spanish, so you know you got to be a little careful.
Given the signs there on his arms and off the knees.
Well, that's the way we used to do it. That knee was 1, chest was 2, sometimes face was 3. That's meant like first, second, and third sign. Not a whole sequence, but just simple, keep it easy for everyone to know. Now it's like, I mean, if I had the card of where to play, I would want the card of what signs was going on, right? Because I want to know what's going on, especially with guys on base. There's a lot going on. So I would always ask Yachty to let me know what sign was happening when there was a guy on second. And that's what we use, the knees, the chest, and the face. wasn't always the same, but
hit the other way, slowly hit Arenado the tag and got him. He gets the lead runner. Heck of a play by Nolan Arenado. And Rojas runs into an out.
It was a really bad play by Rojas right here. I don't know if he just expected Nolan just to fire it over to first base or what, but you're told that when the ball's in front of you, you hold, and when the ball's behind you, you go. Clearly that ball was in front of him.
Well, the play's in front of him.
Yeah, I mean, that's just not. Sometimes that's just trying to do too much, trying to make something out of nothing. There's nothing there. There's no reason for you to go there because it's going to be 2 outs anyways.
Here's Peralta on a ground ball. Tommy Edman sliding for it. What a play by Tommy with the backhand. Martinez loves it. And why not? It's 3-0 as we head to the 5th. Valley Sports Midwest brought to you by Ford, the official car and truck of the Cardinals. And by Steel. Find your Steel dealer at steeldealers.com. 5th inning rolls in, and the Cardinals have a 3-run lead. 2-run homer hit by Tyler O'Neill. And a bases loaded walk for Paul Goldschmidt. Foul ball by Dylan Carlson. He is 0 for 1 with a walk. You know, we were just talking about the base running of the Pirates, or rather the
Cubs
and the
defensive
miscue by the Pirates. And then you just look at the play that just happened with Arenado, and the Diamondbacks run themselves into an out. Those things can't happen. Winning teams don't do that.
Well, you just said it right there, nail on the head. Winning teams don't do that. They're bad plays. Bad. Tell you what, and like I said, you could watch that play with Baez 100 times and find something crazy about it. How smart was Baez, and he didn't go back to the plate. Like, he literally ran as far as he could, and he hit the brakes. Because if he even gets near that plate, steps on it, or goes across it, he has given himself up.
And I'm sure there's some fans wondering, well, how could he go back? Because you never see it. You can do whatever you want in that baseline.
It happens once in a while, and sometimes you see the first baseman just turn around and, go step on the bag,
right.
Or the guy finally just stops as it's kind of a joke. It's kind of embarrassing. Like, I think that only happens when some of these guys play hard. And by the way, those guys that were both on the base, the Contreras and Baez, they're probably 2 of the harder players in the league. And I don't know if they've ever talked about that before, but it looked like they had everything under control on their end.
Derek Shelton afterwards saying it's a teachable moment, and this is on me. It's not on the manager. Players got to know that.
It's the big leagues, man.
Bingo. Thank you, Tim.
I wish I could get Mr. McCarver. I dream of
Could you imagine him with that
right
play?
Here. No, right here. I'd love to. We could talk about that for 9 innings. Good pitch right there.
Well,
sinker.
I'm here.
Wish maybe we should FaceTime him right now and see what he thinks. Oh, man.
He would go nuts. 3-2 pitch.
You should text
Foul
him and
back.
just see if he saw it. Maybe you can
I'll find out tomorrow.
Maybe you can send him the link.
I guarantee he watches so much baseball. I guarantee, because it's being shown everywhere.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's. Want to bet that is going to be the miscue of the week on
of
top
the year.
10.
3-2 pitch. Derek Shelton also said you may never see that again, and he's right.
Yeah, you can pretty much bet the farm on that one too.
Pitch number 8 of the at bat right here. 3-2. Goldschmidt lines it into right. That ball is down. And Goldie will make the turn around first. He's thinking 2 on his way to second. And in there with a double. On base for the second time.
It's a good piece of hitting right here. Sinkers, he keeps fighting them off. That's just a really nice job, trying not to do too much.
Jimmy, if I've heard it once, I've heard it 1,000 times. from Tim McCarver and Mike Shannon when they talk about learning the game and the nuances of the game, and that means base running, cut plays, first to third, whatever. I mean, the little things that help you win, and what they were taught from George Kissel. Think about how many guys learned baseball from George Kissel, and it's still being passed down today. Specifically from the guy that's in the Cardinal dugout right now, and Mike Schilt.
Pretty much everyone that's come through the organization in the past 100 years.
Mr. Kissel was great.
I always got a kick out of first day or two in spring training when Tony would introduce Mr. Kissel and Mr. Shandies and ask them, how many years have you been wearing this uniform? And there was like 60-something years combined. I mean, together. Like, that's, if you think about it, that's insane.
George traveled with us, I believe it was the late 90s. I wasn't sure if he was there in 2000 when you got here, but he was traveling with us.
He was around a little bit more than he was later on.
And I would get to the ballpark, as you know, especially on the road. I love getting there early. And George would be there early. And it was an education for me every single day to talk to him. It was just a treat and a privilege. Very kind man.
And he knew his baseball,
oh,
too.
did he ever.
Spend that much time at the ballpark, you'll see everything.
2-1 ripped and fair into the corner off the bat of Arenado. Goldschmidt will score, and it's 4-0 St. Louis. Back-to-back doubles for the Cardinals.
I'm sure they've seen this before in Arizona. Arenado hitting a double and down the line there, but not back-to-back with their old guy that used to be at first.
Well, we talked about it, how Arenado has destroyed the Diamondbacks, all his games against them in the National League West. And he's made it 4-0, and he's up to 33. Runs batted in, and listen to this road crowd.
I'll tell you what, they travel well here, Cardinal fans. I don't know what it is about Arizona.
And Denver.
Denver, Arizona. I mean, everywhere, but especially.
Yes.
I think it's weird that it's Arizona, though. You know, like, I don't know if it's a lot of people move that way to get
that
different
would be
weather.
my guess.
I mean, you get Florida, right? You get a lot of people from spring training. You get Atlanta, it's kind of close. You get a couple of these ballparks, but.
Well, one of my explanations
Arizona
would be, especially in Denver, the reach of the radio station for so many years of KMOX, which was the only way to get a game. You could get it on a clear night. So
I love you say a clear night.
You know, would grow up listening to the Cardinals, and then generations of the family became Cardinal fans. As Yachty breaks his bat, Ahmed staying with it. That'll be a base hit.
He had a chance still there the first time. You're right, and I keep forgetting about that. I didn't grow up with that, so
sure.
I forget about the range, especially going west. You know, you hear about it all the time with, you know, the Midwest and the South, going down south and, you know, into like Oklahoma area and all that, but and obviously the Illinois fans, but you don't think about it going west for some reason. There's just so many teams out that way too, you know.
And north. I've been in Canada and picked up KMOX. Yeah.
Wow.
Lefty Caleb Smith getting loose for the Diamondbacks. And now if you got your smartphone, your tablet, wherever you may be, that's how
you can watch and
you're taking in Cardinals baseball.
Do it all, yes.
While we have a moment, quick word from Great Southern Bank.
Want to deposit your birthday check right from your phone? Don't waste your wish. You can send money, check your balance, and yes, take care of those checks in a snap, all with the Great Southern mobile app.
With Jim Edmonds, the Cardinals Hall of Famer, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Tyler O'Neill, 1 for 2. 2-run homer back in the second. Remeasured magically at 451 feet. 2 runners on and 1 out.
He's done, Danny.
Oh, O'Neill pulls it foul.
I don't think he's done.
It's Laz Diaz with that call.
Here's a little update via Jimmy the Cat Hayes.
Nice work, Cat. Runners at first and second. O'Neill, the 2-run homer in the second, and struck out in the third. Here's an 0-1. 0-2. That pitch up.
I just got a text from someone that said you could hear it in Austin, Texas at times. I just don't understand that.
Well, the TV games weren't as prevalent.
No, I'm not talking about that. I mean, you drive out of the city and you lose an FM station.
And all those fans, you know, those late summer nights.
But it's got to be clear. And so that's about a 50-50 time.
You got.
What that weather came by today?
Well, you got Harry Carey all those years, and Garagiola, and Jack Buck, and Mike Shannon. The list goes on and on.
Isn't it amazing, though? I grew up and obviously in California, but I knew more about the Cubs and the Braves than I did about my own team.
And the reason why?
TBS.
You got it.
What was the
WGN?
WGN. Tell you what, they were ahead of their time, weren't they?
That was like having a national television outlet for your games.
I don't think when I broke into the league we were on TV more than twice a week in the 90s.
It really started towards the mid-late 90s. You started getting more and more games, and the appetite for the games obviously is there. People love to watch baseball. Love it.
Well, I mean, you think about when I was a kid and you were a kid, I would stay home to watch the Saturday games, and one of my
Sosa is hit for the 8th time.
Crazy. One of my favorite things of all time growing up was This Week in Baseball with Mel Allen.
I love that. I love the Brady or the
anywhere to watch that.
Johnny Bench's show.
Oh yeah, what was that?
Almost said the Brady Bunch.
That too. Well, this
would be a pitching change. They're going to go lefty-lefty matchup here with Williams coming up and the bases loaded. Caleb, Thursday, June 3rd. Cardinals take on the Reds. 10,000 fans entering with a ticket. Take home a Cardinals decal featuring Nolan Arenado, courtesy of Shelter Insurance. Tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. Well, Smith, his last 3 outings, 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 walks. He's been in the rotation as well as reliever, holding righties to a 203 average, lefties 250. Well, you got to make this move. Torey Lovello has to do it at this time because Williams, so far this year against left-handed pitching, 2 for 19. He's trying to keep this game close. It's 4-0, bases loaded.
Yeah, you said it. Keep this game close. Anything can happen in a ballpark like this, and the ball flies, and you can see how quickly it can get out of control. I mean, I always just look back at, like, talk about playoff stuff, and you start thinking, like, you got a 4-run lead, going to give up a run here and there, but you really are like a walk and a single and a homer away from being 4-3. I mean, it happens so fast in ballparks like this. You can't get that out of your mind.
So 2 outs, bases loaded. Williams, a swing and a miss. You mentioned watching TBS and WGN. I would do that as well. And if you got a game on the NBC game of the week, I stopped everything on a Saturday. Cardinals were on it here or there, not often, but now it's every night. Fans are loving it.
They would show the World Series in
our actual day games.
In our classrooms during the daytime, they would put them on.
The baseball bunch.
Oh, Johnny Bench.
Cincinnati.
Thank you so much, somebody.
The 1-1. 1985 was the first World Series with no day games. Cardinals and Royals. 1-2 the count.
Really?
That was the first one. Al Michaels had the call on television. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Williams a swing and a miss. So Smith gets his man. The Cardinals strand 3. They've left 6 on and they lead 4-0.
In Arizona, with everything that was swirling around Hatgate yesterday, Paul Goldschmidt told me one thing stood out to him. That was how calm Giovanni Gallegos remained. We had Goldschmidt on the pregame show today. He told me to have all that go down, and he hadn't even finished warming up. He's coming in with guys on base and facing the middle of their order, and he had to deal with the hat thing. To get out of that inning and pitch well, you never know how things like that will go. It says a lot about Gio. That was incredible. And Danny Schultz said Gio was unfazed. He said Gio just said, I really like that hat.
Get me another one. I thought it was interesting. What we didn't show or see was literally, was it Kisner was catching? He handed the hat to someone, and the umpire ran after it. He was literally told the bat boy just to go take it away, like just switch hats and go put it back in his locker, please. And umpire ran after it, took it from the bat boy.
Here's Smith. I remember a game that Julian Tavares was pitching in, and he flipped his hat into the crowd, and they went into the crowd to get it.
I remember that too.
It was a doubleheader, if memory serves correct, against the Pirates. Because between games, I went and had lunch with a broadcaster at Charlie Gito's. Now, why I remember that, I'm not sure, but that was the day. There's a ground ball hit to first, and Martinez is there. By the way, in watching the baseball bunch, there was a thing on social media the other day, and I thought of you immediately. You would have loved it. So Johnny Bench is there with all the kids that are 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, whatever. And who shows up but Ted Williams?
Wow.
And Ted Williams starts talking to the kids about hitting, and then he takes off his coat and he's got a Boston Red Sox jersey, and they give him a bat and he starts taking BP and he's hitting ropes. And he must have been 60, 65 years old. It was unbelievable.
I don't know why you were thinking about me, because
you love that kind of stuff.
I can barely hit now.
I've seen you
I've been trying, and it is just a little bit more painful than it used to be.
But you could see still at his age the familiar swing, and it was really neat to see. Here's a 1-1 pitch to Josh Reddick. Another ground ball. Goldschmidt to Martinez. Carlos Martinez, the BJC Healthcare difference maker, and he has been really good tonight. So far, he has struck out 6. All 6 came in the first 3 innings. He's walked 1.
6 strikeouts with the 1 walk, and that's what you're looking for from him. And the energy. Love the energy. It seems to go hand in hand.
Let's go around the league, and this week, Twib Notes.
That was my favorite show.
Remember the
why
music?
They don't have something like that anymore. I guess because we have it going on 24/7. One of the best voices of all time.
Mel Allen.
Gosh.
Loved it. Inside. We've been mentioning the backdrop in Arizona. A lot of players love this backdrop that is here at this ballpark.
Yes. I think sometimes it takes a little getting used to here because the backdrop is so big.
1-2. Great movement on that pitch. Here's a 1-2. And a fly ball that'll carry to the right fielder tonight for the Cardinals. Justin Williams, an 11-pitch inning. Martinez threw 5. We head to the 6th. 4-0 St. Louis. Tap Johan Oviedo, another start tomorrow against the longtime lefty of the Giants, now with Arizona, Madison Bumgarner. Bumgarner lost his last start against the Rockies, and he has one of those no-hitters this year, albeit 7 innings. So not an official no-hitter. Carlos Martinez has singled to center and struck out. That was back in the 4th inning. And the first pitch is fouled back. We're in the 6th inning. 4-0 Cardinals.
Wow. Now the pitcher's up.
And a foul ball. 0-2. Martinez here, then Tommy Edman and Dylan Carlson. Cardinals about hit Arizona 7-0 so far. And the 0-2 pitch. Ball got away. Where would that possibly come from? The bullpens are down the left field and right field lines.
That's true. I didn't even...
We're not in spring training here.
Oh boy.
The 0-2. Ball just magically appeared.
And there's a net around the whole field.
I guess the dugout, maybe. I don't know.
I told you we used to throw baseballs at the Philly Fanatic. And then one time the teams ran on the field and there was like 5 or 6 balls in the infield. Everyone was looking around like, where'd these come from?
0-2 and a strikeout of Martinez. Theme nights, they're back at Busch Stadium. And the first one to return will be June 8th. And then June 9th, purchase of a special theme ticket. Fans take home an exclusive Cardinals-themed Lucy bobblehead. And for more information, visit cardinals.com/theme. June 14th, it is a full house. And those tickets are on sale. Everything is on sale now. Popped up by Tommy Edman. And 2 outs.
What was it? 2 bombs, Tommy? What'd you have?
Tommy, 2 bombs.
Gotcha.
I guess that baseball must have fell out of the pocket of the umpire. That's the only way I could see that it magically appear.
It's like some Lucky Charms.
You come up with Lucky Charms.
Magically appear. Magically delicious. Same thing. I don't know.
I'll tell you what, you crack yourself up.
Sometimes it's just words bring back memories and just, I don't know. Just trying to stay sane in this little room right here.
Good luck.
Next to you. And then the cat popping in every now and then. It's like, whew, a lot of work.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. Pulled the string. 1-2.
Right there.
Carlson has done pretty good damage from this side of the plate. Average wise 355, 1 home run, high OPS. And the 1-2. Dylan takes it the other way. Pretty well hit. Reddick back, and he'll make the catch on the track. Midway through 6, 4-0. Presented by authority of the Cardinals and not to be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. We're in the bottom of the 6th, and it's 4-0 St. Louis. Steven Vogt, the pitcher's spot, and then Rojas. First pitch by Martinez is taken for a ball. 71 pitches on the night, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Line the other way, but there is Tyler O'Neill for the first out. You stick with Caleb Smith. So hit here, and then we'll go back to the top of the lineup, down by 4. And a strike. And Smith hit by the pitch.
That's something you don't see every day. Wow. Just talking about mechanics right there, right? It just loses it. God, and that, like I said, you don't see that happen very often at all. I mean, you don't want to seem soft and all, but I might have said sorry. I might have. Well, by the way, you might have to hit again against him. Kidding, but I also would like, if you're going to be
Well, I love what
a man about it. It's okay to be like, hey, man, my bad.
I love what Yachty is doing there. Martinez, by the way, leads all of baseball. He's hit 8, but he's pitching so well. He just hit the pitcher. Let's get him back.
Yeah,
focused.
Focus is right. And you know what? And sometimes it's not even, hey, don't worry about that. It's more or less like, hey, there's a little bit of a mechanic issue, or let's get back on top and let's get a ground ball.
Taken low by Rojas, their leadoff hitter, who has walked and also grounded out. Pulled foul.
See, I truly believe what we were talking about the other day about back in the day, not even back in the day, but pitchers, older pitchers and throughout baseball, going right after the ground ball double play right here. And I'm not talking about, of course, that's what you want, but you're literally throwing every pitch for that reason. And so it's not a cutter inside. It's not a breaking ball or changeup up. It's a sinker away.
Line to Nolan Arenado, and that turns into 2. Everything
like
going right now for Carlos Martinez. Winds up being a 7-pitch inning. Baseball on Valley Sports Midwest, brought to you by BJC Healthcare, the world's best medicine made better. And by Budweiser, this Bud's for you. There's a look at your line score, and the Cardinals a 4-run lead at Chase Field.
Such a beautiful ballpark right there.
Gateway Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. Just so big. We talked about it. The capacity is close to 49,000, and you see how newer ballparks are being made. The actual attendance is, you know, they like it to be, even some 35, 40,000. Cardinals could probably squeeze 42 in there, I guess, 41, something like that at Busch.
I just think they did a really nice job with this ballpark. They put it in a decent spot. I mean, it's not in the greatest part of town, but it's everything's wide open around there. You get a spot to park. There's places to walk around. It's clean. It's great underneath the stadium. The clubhouse is awesome. They just did a really nice job, and I just think that it's been around for a little while now, and it's still one of the nicer ballparks.
Breaking pitch hit out of play. Crowd tonight 8,951.
And you know what? And it's a fun place to play too. It's good field, ball carries. You know, it's a good place to play. I think it's just great all the way around. Usually have pretty good crowds.
The check swing, and he went.
Ouch! He's not going to like that.
And a strikeout to start play here in the 7th, and it brings in Nolan Arenado.
It's a pretty good pitch right here.
Oh. Third strikeout for
You don't
Smith.
see that very often out of him. You know that?
No.
You know why? Because he's so dang strong. And I don't think he really went right there. We've seen way worse, but he's so strong and has so much back control. He just stopped that bat in an instant.
Similar to Coors Field, just not the big upper deck.
Yeah.
Pitch inside to Nolan Arenado. And a count of 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, and nobody on. Takes it the other way, and a base hit for Arenado. He's thinking to, no, he'll stop, and gets back to the bag at first.
You knew that was coming. I'll tell you what, there's some guys around the league that you don't want to wake up. He's one of them that's not going to back down when you throw a ball inside to him. I thought if he hangs him a breaking ball right here, he's going to hit it a mile, and he got a pitch out of the zone and he went after it. Did you know he's throwing that ball inside on purpose, and then he's going to go away or something soft, and it's a nice piece of hitting right there.
Team leading 15th multi-hit game for Nolan Arenado. Let's see if Yachty jumps on the first pitch from a lefty here. Looks at a strike. Molina single to center, scored, fly to left, and an infield hit off the glove of Ahmed. The 0-1. Now 0-2. Looking ahead to the 7th inning. The bottom half, it'll be Marte, Escobar, Peralta, 2, 3, and 4 coming up for the Diamondbacks. And Carlos Martinez is dealing. The 0-2, and a swing and a miss. StatCast powered by Google Cloud, and this was a prodigious blast off the bat of Tyler O'Neill and off the scoreboard 451 feet.
After rethinking that and watching that angle, I could see how they came up with 416.
Yeah, sure. Makes all the sense in the world.
Tell you what, this kid's got a good arm. Caleb Smith, originally drafted by the Yankees.
Shift there on the left side. Runner at first, Nolan Arenado in the 0-1. That first home run that he hit. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Right there. Right underneath his picture. There's so many dents in that wall right there. It's unbelievable. That just goes to show you how much the ball carries there.
That's pulled foul. Watch out.
You know what I like what he's doing this year? Not only is he trying to work up the middle and the other way, he choked up a little bit right there. He's he's finally getting to the point where he's saying, okay, this guy's, you know, there's every now and then you got to say, hey, this guy's good. I got to change. I can't take my normal stance and approach against certain guys. And it happens a lot more than you think. And so see Tyler right here is choking up a little bit.
The 1-2. That's when they can get him, that pitch up.
I mean, he's always been like that. He's done a really nice job changing that, but every now and then you get a guy like this that can throw that hard. It's tough to lay off.
Time to stretch, 4-0. Baseball upbringing and so much more in the new edition of Cardinals Magazine. Become a subscriber today. Call 314-345-9000 or visit cardinals.com/magazine. There's the line. Take a hard look at it. Carlos Martinez with 6 scoreless innings, 6 strikeouts. He's hit a man and a walk.
Let's hit the pitcher.
Hit the pitcher.
Hit the pitcher.
Then got out of it with a double play as Marte on the first pitch fouls it back. And the pitch count is very reasonable at this point in the 7th inning.
Yeah.
78 pitches.
I tell you what, like I said before, if you're in the 10s and your pitch count's in the 10s with the inning, so that means if you're in the 70s in the 7th or 50s in the 5th, you're doing a nice job. So he's definitely doing a nice job.
0-1 pitch. Line drive out to left and a base hit. And the first hit allowed by Martinez.
Not really sure what happens here, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that you might want to make a little better effort to make this play. Look at the third baseman.
Here's Escobar and a pitch taken high. So the first hit allowed. Clean single by Marte to left. Thought it was hanging up there, maybe just enough for O'Neill to come in and make that diving attempt. Who knows?
Ditto.
2-0. Cardinals have had a no-hitter at this ballpark. It was Jose Jimenez.
Now you can freely talk about it.
I vary it
in general.
Sometimes if it's going, I say, hey, there's no hitter going on. Sometimes I don't. I have a little fun with it. The 2-1 and a base hit into right field. Marte to third. Runners at the corners. And what did we talk about earlier, Jimmy? You're a couple of hits and a blast away, and all of a sudden it's a 1-run game.
Now you're already thinking about it. So right now you're thinking about one bad pitch, and you're only up by 1. That's starting to go through people's heads, and that's why you got to be careful.
So runners at first and third. Mike Maddox out to visit. David Peralta coming to the plate. Genesis Cabrera starts to throw in the Cardinal pen. Peralta with 4 home runs. He's driven in 28. And tonight he is struck out looking and grounded into a fielder's choice. It's the longest a Cardinals pitcher has taken a no-hitter since Jack Flaherty took a no-hitter into the 7th in San Francisco. Evan Longoria broke it up with a home run. Cardinals lost 1-0, and that was the game right before the All-Star break, and then Flaherty had a historic second half. Peralta hitting .286 with runners in scoring position. And ball one. The 1-0. Good play by Yachty. Keeps it in front. Both runners stay put.
Wouldn't be surprised if he's not just a little bit flustered right now and frustrated.
The 2-0 pitch. Peralta to left. Well hit. O'Neill won't get there. Looked to be touched by a fan. And indeed it was apparently. Looked to be touched by the fan. And that's going to score at least one run and bring the tying run to the plate. Let's see. Yeah.
How do you not put your hands up right there as a left fielder? I don't get that. What are we doing all of a sudden?
Well, clearly touched by the fan, so they're going to make the case that they should have two runners score. That will not be the case. It'll be runners at second and third, and Diamondbacks on the board 4-1. And it looks like the Cardinals will make a pitching change here and bring in Genesis Cabrera.
I always thought that it should be a judgment call in some situations because some are so bad, but it's never been, and I don't know why they would be arguing about it here, but ground rule double is a ground rule double.
I'm just going to allow Cabrera to take all the time he needs to get loose in the pen.
So ground rule double. That being said, runner does not score from first, no matter how far along the bases he is.
So second and third, and Mike Schilt waiting. Now they're going to go talk to Mike Schilt. So if he's at second, awarded two.
I don't think that's the case.
They can look at it on instant replay here, on the replay, to give him two, and I don't think that's going to happen.
I'm still in shock that the left fielder does not raise his hands up.
So the play is under review, and this is a play that you can review with base running as well. But I'm with you. I think it's going to be a standard. Award him third. He gets second and third, and then one out.
Well, I think Michelle's getting nervous right now because Mike might lose his mind.
Now, umpires can review the position of runners, so I'm not sure if this is an official challenge from Arizona or if it's an umpire review. But they can look at the positioning of base runners of which the ball was, in which it was touched, at what time and where the base runners were. That is reviewable. Ground rule double, second and third. And now Mike Schilt will officially make the move. And we'll step aside here in the home half of the 7th, and it's 4-1. Mike Schilt, Genesis Cabrera, Giovanni Gallegos, and Alex Reyes. We saw yesterday in 4 innings they gave up 1 hit after John Gant played Houdini. Chevy called to the pen, and Genesis Cabrera is in. Pitched 17 balls last night, or yesterday afternoon, I should say, in Chicago. 17 pitches. Pavin Smith, left-handed batter. Another lefty on deck in Josh Reddick. So the fans touching that ball cost the Diamondbacks a run. Runners at second and third. Nasty pitch in for strike 1. Arizona with 3 consecutive hits to chase Carlos Martinez, and the 0-1 pitch. Base hit into the gap in right center. 2 runs will score. Smith on his way to second, and it makes it a 1-run game.
Well, Danny, just what we talked about, how quickly it can change in a ballpark like this with all that room. You can see this ball, it almost gets all the way to the wall. There's no one even close.
And it cuts a lead now to a run. It's 4-3.
I think I have to stand corrected. I said that should have been a judgment call, and I believe it is. And in the 17 years I played in the big leagues, I never once saw them even attempt at that.
It's been rare on replay that we've seen that here too.
I'm not even talking about replay or anything. I'm talking about being even questioned.
Yeah.
What that play Yachty just made with his shoulder just went unnoticed.
Keeps a runner at second, and the 1-0 pitch to Reddick.
His court awareness is unbelievable. He could feel that ball was going to get by him, and he stuck his elbow out and literally almost hit him right in the bicep. Or that ball is to the backstop.
The 1-1 hit out of play. Reddick came up from AAA Reno May 20th. Played in 11 games with Reno, and now with the Diamondbacks. Curveball. Base hit into right. Williams, who had an outfield assist yesterday, almost threw it to the backstop, and it's runners at first and third. 5 consecutive hits in the inning. Giovanni Gallegos starts to throw, and Mike Maddox out to visit. Runners at the corners, and still nobody out.
It's funny to talk about Josh Reddick just coming up from AAA. He's been around for a little bit. Been in the big league since 2009. He's played over 1,200 games. So that is the Josh Reddick, if you're thinking about it, that's been around.
So there are 2 things they were looking at on that replay. 2 aspects of it: runner placement, and then officially the fan interference.
Well, like I said, that's because one of the guys out there didn't put his hands up, make it obvious.
Cardinals entered tonight leading the National League, allowing only 45% of inherited runners to score this year. And now Cabrera in some trouble with runners at the corners, and still nobody out here in the home half of the 7th. There's Nick Ahmed. the bottom of the order here. 7th place hitter, 0 for 2. The 1-0.
Good pitch right there.
Diamondbacks hitting .206 this year with runners in scoring position, 2nd lowest in all of baseball, but yet 3 for 4 tonight. The 2-0. 3-0. Bases loaded. Six in a row have reached base for Arizona.
Definitely not what you're thinking when you're Mike Schilt and you're going into the 7th inning up 4-0 with a no-hitter. Next thing you're looking at a chance where it could be big trouble.
Carson Kelly, and we mentioned earlier in the broadcast the outstanding year that he is off to. He has been one of the best in baseball,
especially against lefties.
He leads the major leagues in on-base percentage at .466, 7th in OPS, and hitting .318. Ryan Helsley is going to come into this ball game with the bases loaded and nobody out. Genesis Cabrera has not retired a batter, and Ryan Helsley now is into the ball game. Tough spot, bases loaded, nobody out. We've talked about these situations. It's almost that you concede the run at third and try to keep it a tie game. And if you get out of it with no runs scored, then you tip your cap and say, what a job.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like the old school thought when you have a young player out there, as you go out there and said, hey, you know, that guy at third's probably going to score. So let's just work on throwing strikes, getting this hitter out, maybe try to get a ground ball double play and go from there. But you're 100% right.
Carson Kelly against right-handed pitching. 3 home runs and a .311 average. Infield is drawn in for the Cardinals. Bases loaded, nobody out. First pitch, strike 1. Different player with Arizona, chance to play every day, making the most of it.
100%.
The 0-1. 98, 0-2. Smith, Reddick, Ahmed all aboard. The 0-2. Struck him out. 3 pitches, struck him out.
It's a good slider right there. Didn't really break. It's almost a backup slider, but he throws so hard. You see spin coming out of the hand right there. You almost slow yourself down a little bit, and then what do they say, Danny? The best pitch in baseball, backup slider. Sometimes it's the worst, but most of the time it works out in the pitcher's favor.
There's Andrew Young, a second baseman, pinch hitting. Second straight Cardinal player involved in the Goldschmidt trade. Bases loaded and one out. That was a little better that time.
A little tighter slider, yep. Doesn't have a real big slider all the time. It's not a cutter, but
almost
he just
axes one though.
Yeah, it's just he has so much velocity.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yachty setting up outside. Out of play. 1-2. Rojas, the leadoff hitter, on deck. 8th man to come to the dish. In the hole. 1-2. The next by Helsley.
Good job by Yachty again. Would you say that Cabrera's got a pretty good curveball, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
Spin rate on his curveball is about 2,300, 2,400. Ryan Helsley's spin rate on his cutter, 2,350, and his sliders 2,400. So a lot of spin, but not a lot of time to get to the plate. So maybe not as much sharp break as you'd think. Effective nonetheless.
2-2 pitch. Oh. Could have seen it go either way. 3-2 the count on Young. Bases loaded and a 3-2 pitch in a 1-run game here in the bottom of the 7th. He got him. Back-to-back strikeouts. He chased ball 4. Now he's 1 out away from getting out of this jam.
Well, we're preying on a little bit of a younger player right there. Not a lot of at-bats in the big leagues. And so after you talk about taking for granted that you're going to get a fastball, sometimes you don't even have to throw the off-speed for strikes. He's trying so hard to drive in that run.
Rojas has grounded to second. He has walked and then lined to third into the glove of Nolan Arenado, and it turned into a double play. Helsley came in with the bases loaded, nobody out. He struck out Vogt. Struck out Young. Ground ball. He's going to get out of it. Bases loaded. Nobody out. Helsley, the strikeout of Kelly. The strikeout of Young. Ground out Rojas. What a job. 4-3. A right-hander. Our Chevy call to the pen. 6 pitches yesterday. 24 2/3 thus far. But the job there of Ryan Helsley. Man, oh man.
You're not kidding. I mean, like you said, probably giving up the run at third. Just really concentrate on getting the hitter one at a time. Maybe a double play. Not much. I don't know. You know, not much of a double play guy with that fastball. Can get them obviously because he can eat some guys up, but just go one thing at a time and end up getting it all done.
And here's Sosa to start the 8th. He's been on base because he was hit by the 8th pitch off his elbow, or
what did he say? We said the other day he had 7 hit by pitches in about 30.
I think it was 38
or 39 at bats. Well, now he's got 8 with 42 at bats
to lead the National League.
It's not the one you want to be leading in, I don't think. That's just me.
This guy's got really good stuff. Mid to high 90s fastball. And opponents hitting 138 against the slider, 176 on his changeup. So Sosa 9 times, first 36 career games that he's been in. Most in Major League history. And now he sends a fly ball out to right for the first out. Another odd aspect of the inning is that Genesis Cabrera keeps his scoreless streak intact at 12 innings thanks to Ryan Helsley. Justin Williams 0 for 3. Shift on the right side. Two balls and no strikes. And Williams hits it sharply into the shift. Matt Carpenter will pinch hit. Well, you got Giovanni Gallegos, you got Alex Reyes potentially left in this game to get the final 6 outs. Diamondbacks in their half of the 8th will have Marte, Escobar, and Peralta. Two outs, nobody on here in the top of the 8th for St. Louis, leading by a run. And the first pitch is strike. The 0-1 pitch. A ball and a strike. One and two. Fouled back. The 1-2 pitch to Carpenter. Ball third strike. Giovanni Gallegos coming in when we come back. Weiser plays of the game, 7th inning. Ryan Helsley on the mound to face one of the best hitters in the National League this year, Carson Kelly. Struck him out on 3 pitches. Then it was Young, got him to chase on a 3-2, and Rojas would ground out. The Budweiser plays of the game to keep the Cardinals ahead in this one by a run.
You know, that was a massive inning right there for Helsley to come in, and like you said, I mean, there's no secret to why that was the play of the game right now.
There's a look at your game summary. Cardinals up by a run, bottom of the 8th. Carlos Martinez had a no-hitter going for the better part of this game. O'Neill, a 2-run blast. Goldschmidt has been on base a couple of times. And 4-3 is our score. Chevy call to the pen with a clean hat and all. Giovanni Gallegos. And he has been nothing short of spectacular this year. On the road, 12 2/3. 1.42 ERA. He's only given up 4 hits. Opponents hitting 100 against him on the road. Last 7 games, 10 innings, 3 hits, 11 strikeouts. The opponent average 0.97. I mean, any way you want to look at it, he's been just awesome. He's given up a total of 5 hits to left-handed batters this year.
Well, and not just this year. I mean, he has been so good this year, but he has been good, I feel like, since he's got here in the big leagues, period.
This is Marte at the plate, the 1-0 pitch. One thing, Jimmy, I notice is that it is rare he leaves a ball over the middle of the plate. I mean, he just paints and does it with every pitch he's got.
Yeah, he does a really nice job. I think he just does a really nice job of staying under control. And that conversation about Adam Wainwright throwing strikes in the bullpen that you had.
Hit the other way. Sosa gets up, fires, and not in time.
You're talking about Adam Wainwright throwing strikes in the bullpen and asking how many pitches you think you can throw for a strike. I think that's it. I think he does just a nice job. He's got a good live arm. He throws strikes. Doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes. It's really right here, not even a mistake as much as we're just playing so far to pull. He's one of those guys, I think, too, when you're playing defense behind him, wherever the catcher sets up, you're going to have to move a little bit because he's going to hit that spot.
So runner at first. And strike 1 to Escobar. Diamondbacks, a desperate club in search of a win to break a long losing skid. Fastball missed low. They've dropped 10 straight. Here's a 1-1. The bottom drop out of that.
I just don't understand the physics of that slider. I really don't. He's the only guy in the league that throws a slider that does not go sideways at all. It's almost like the old school split fingered fastball.
I don't know how you
see
call
the spin.
I know he calls it a slider.
But you see the spin. We showed it the other night. It's spinning like a slider. It's not as tight as a normal slider. It's almost like a little bit of a breaking ball.
6.
It's crazy. And he can throw a small one and he can throw a little bigger one.
1-2 pitch. Hit out of play. I think we overlooked the fact that he's hitting consistently 95, 96. So you got to gear up for that too.
Yeah, I think he's so far, knock on wood, been healthy and had good velocity with his command.
The 1-2 pitch to Escobar. Peralta on deck.
Another bruise.
Can't imagine how sore he is by the end of the year.
What about by the end of the month?
I was about to say by the end of week 1. Takes a beating back there, but answers the bell. The 1-2 again. Got him. Elevated the fastball. And the first out. Here in the bottom of the 8th, it brings in Peralta, doubled back in the 7th. Kept in front by Molina, and a good play. With that, Marte back to the bag at first. Entertaining ball game here tonight. Cardinals had a 4-run lead. It's been cut into 4-3. Filthy.
And that's what I was saying. He's got a little bit of a smaller one right there, and he's got one that. And pitching is so much about location, obviously, but like talked about a lot with Adam Wainwright. When his curveball's good, where is it? It's almost hitting the ground, and you can see right there he can throw one that's down there on the ground, and he'll throw one that bounces through the strike zone. And that's what I'm saying. Some are bigger, some are smaller, and he kind of knows what he needs to do. It's not a strikeout pitch right there, so he wants it to run through the zone.
The other thing about Gio, too, we always hear the term pitch tunneling. Everything coming out with mechanics the same, but the ball coming out.
Same arm angle.
Arm angle, everything. And you just can't pick up that little, just that little half inch or whatever it may be with the grip.
I like
or something that you can detect as a hitter.
Well, I like sometimes when they show like, we don't do it that much, or I don't think we do it at all here when we're doing our games, but you'll see it on other games where they'll show the overlapping of the guy throwing the ball out of the same slot and it'll move. I saw it somewhere the other day just watching, and it's just, even if it's on a computer, it's so cool. It gives you a little bit of an idea.
96. Jimmy, I know you're checking this intently.
Well, I'm watching to see if he's going to throw this slider or not. Seeing if some of his family are in the stands. Good pitch. Sometimes you can see the people in the background. I know we have family all over the country. Every now and then, see some of our Cardinal fans show up. Like you haven't seen the Passmores much this year, but
COVID.
I haven't let that next big group of people in the stadium yet.
The 2-2 into center. Carlson will make the catch. Marte stays put at first. Pavin Smith with 2 outs. Smith tonight has struck out, grounded out, and a double that drove in a pair. And Smith has been a hot hitter, 6 for his last 13. Cardinals start counting down the outs, 4 away from potentially taking game 1 of this series. Game that began with Carlos Martinez. He looked terrific and took a no-hitter into the 7th. A 1 pitch. It's also a game that you're going to your big 3, and sometimes the big 3 don't come through, and that was Cabrera tonight. Someone's got to pick you up, and it's been Ryan Helsley.
In a big way.
You bet.
Bases loaded, jam, nobody out. Right through the 3 guys in the way.
And an 0-2 pitch on its way. Lined out to deep left field. At the wall. It's off the wall. Backing up Carlson. Marte being waved in. Relay to the plate. And not in time. We're tied up 4-4.
Good pitch up above the zone. Just a hitter that made an adjustment. You could see the short swing. And you can also see the ball flying.
Pavin Smith has driven in 3 of the 4, and he's got a pair of doubles tonight. The batter is Josh Reddick, and a base hit could put the Diamondbacks on top heading into the 9th. Strike 1. In that 9th inning, the Cardinals have Edman, Carlson, Goldschmidt, top of the St. Louis lineup. One ball, 1 strike. Pitch number 20 from Gallegos. One and 2 the count. In the dirt, gets away. That becomes a big play. Wild pitch, pass ball, and Diamondbacks have the lead.
You're right. I'm saying every time you can move up, every time you can get a guy to third base, it doesn't matter how many outs there are. Not only is it obviously easier to score, it puts a lot of pressure on everyone, and especially the pitcher. Now he can't be as sharp. Can't try to make the best pitch as possible. He's got to think about not bouncing it. Doesn't matter who's behind the plate. With you got one of the greatest of all time back there, you still have to have that on your mind.
Wild pitch charge to Gallegos. The 2-2 from Giovanni. Two. Got him. Elevated with the fastball. A couple of strikeouts in the inning. Pavin Smith has tied it 4-4. We move to the top of the ninth and the top of the St. Louis lineup from Chase Field in Arizona. We're coming to you from our Bally Studios here in St. Louis. Joakim Soria, the Chevy call to the pen. One point he was a very good closer.
I have to go with he's one of the veterans on this team, maybe.
He's had Tommy John twice.
37-year-old right-hander out of Mexico. That's impressive. Tommy John twice and to keep going.
Mentally, the grind of coming back. Give him credit. There's Tommy Edman at a base hit to left back in the second inning. Tommy, 2 bombs. Outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Alex Reyes throwing in the St. Louis pen. Hey, we had a 19-inning game here back in 2019.
Hey, not tonight, please. Let's get a run.
One, and Edman lifts a fly ball into shallow right. The catch is made, and the first out.
Center fielder Dylan Carlson.
That is a game that we almost had a terrible accident. The hot dog shooter almost ran over the cat.
What?
The 15th.
Come on. Cat is on his 14th hit.
He was roaming around on the track and
got all of his notes.
I'm being serious. It was a scary moment. Carlson is due.
I think maybe he was trying to get a hot dog. It wasn't an accident.
Almost ran him over.
No way. That's awesome.
Not for the cat.
No, not for the cat. Just for the experience.
Dylan's got 3 home runs. How about number 4? He'll take a ground ball to the right side and the second out. Paul Goldschmidt has been on base twice. Bases loaded walk in the second, and a double and a run scored in the 5th. Can he burn his former team? Curveball drops in for a strike.
You know what I like right there? He didn't flinch. We'll talk about that, how he takes pitches sometimes. It's a big breaking ball right there. Even the catcher even flinched.
Goldie into right at the wall and caught.
Oh. Just off the end.
to the pen. The Cardinals closer in here for the bottom of the ninth, and we're tied 4-4. If we head to the 10th, Cardinals would have Goldschmidt at second base, and then Arenado, Molina, O'Neill. But you got to get there first. And it'll be 7, 8, and 9 in the lineup here for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Nick Ahmed will lead it off. It's been a terrific year for Alex Reyes.
Let's just keep it going in that direction. Don't get ahead of ourselves.
Arizona 7-26 when an opponent scores first, and the Cardinals did that tonight. They were up 4-0 in this game going into the 7th with Carlos Martinez hurling at that time a no-hitter. Here's Ahmed. 0 for 2 with a walk. And the first pitch taken for a ball. Buckled his knees.
Whoops.
And the 1-1 up and in. 2 balls and 1 strike. Ahmed, a ground ball to Nolan Arenado. 1 away.
You know, I said something earlier. We were just talking off of the air, but said something about the lighting there. And I totally forgot that they changed the playing surface. I haven't been there since they've done that.
Gone to that turf.
Quite interesting. I haven't been there, so I don't know what it's like, but it was kind of one of the cool things I thought about Arizona is how they grow that grass indoors.
Carson Kelly struck out on 3 pitches his first time up. A ball and a strike. Wow.
Well,
1 and 2.
Just say you can take a look at Carson Kelly, and he's looking out there at guys that he used to catch. Some days, I mean, this breaking ball is ridiculous. But I'm thinking to myself, I don't really want to face this guy.
Fastball struck him out. 97 up in the zone. Domingo Leyba will be the pinch hitter. 2 outs, nobody on. Fastball, 97, in for a strike.
Right down the middle. You know that old thing when you're in the backyard and you're as a kid and you're tie game, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. You just want a fastball right down the middle.
That was it?
He just got it. He took it.
Now he gets a breaking pitch that missed on the bottom of the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Never did that in the backyard, did you?
No, I
7 million times.
Usually would pop up, so I think it was the 3rd inning usually. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Fastball again outside, 2-1.
I don't remember though being a kid and saying it's a fastball at 110. And he hits it deep. No one threw this hard when I was a kid.
And now they do.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe that wasn't in the dream. It wasn't 97. It was 88.
Fastball again, 2-2. Again, the Cardinals will have the middle of their lineup coming up. Arenado, Molina, O'Neill. Two-two pitch. 98.
Yeah, that definitely wasn't in my dream. I don't know if I was catching up to 98.
Not many do now either. Up. The 2-2. Full count. Walked him. Winning run is at first base. Domingo Leyba and Josh Rojas will come up, the leadoff hitter in their lineup. He's grounded out to second. He's walked. He's lined into a double play and grounded to second again. Tim Locastro will pinch run at first. And the batter will be Rojas.
Just got to go back to getting strike 1 again. Maybe throw it, maybe not down the middle this time, but.
Castro is 4th in Major League Baseball average sprint speed. He's at first base. Cardinals know that. Not running, and the pitch is a strike.
He's going to have to pick it up a little bit too, as Reyes isn't really quick to the plate. About a 1-4, sometimes 1-5. Got to give Yachty a chance. I don't know though. I guess you're the home team, so you go ahead and take the chance, right?
Good.
If you got a guy that can run.
4 for 6 in stolen bases. That's just
Yikes.
off the plate. Yachty looks back at the home plate umpire, and it's 1-1.
Another 1-4. I was watching Yachty right there, and you know, you can kind of see out of the corner of your eye the pitcher, and he's kind of looking, but he's literally staring at the guy at first base to see if he's going to move after he gives the sign. It's not taking a real big lead. That's why. Reyes likes to throw before he comes set a lot.
Good breaking ball. 1-2 the count. He also varied up the time to the plate.
A little bit quicker there.
Quick.
That's the thing. A lot of guys don't like to throw once they get set. And when you get that kind of reputation, you got to be careful, because as soon as you come set, guys can take off. So you're going to throw over there a couple times, but once you come set, you got to be quicker to the plate.
He is running. He's at second base and represents the winning run.
And Sosa just left his position altogether. He tries to deke him right here. Knows that the ball has gotten by Yachty.
Smart play.
Nice little effort right there.
Base hit could win it. The 2-2. Hit out of play. How far can you extend Alex Reyes if you do get into the 10th? Have a chance to win this game, or even just thinking about extending the game? He's at 20 pitches.
Well, he threw 20 last night.
Exactly.
Or yesterday.
The 2-2. Full count.
Danny, I was flipping through the scoreboard looking at all the scores, and it was 24 strikeouts in the Dodgers-Giants game. 24.
That's happened. I mean, that's commonplace now.
Gosh.
LeCastro represents the winning run. He's at second base. And the 3-2 pitch by Reyes. Hit up the middle. Sosa is there. And we have extra innings. Whew. You can see that ball almost hit the bag.
If it hits the bag, game is over.
Coming up for the Cardinals in the 10th, Arenado, Molina, and O'Neill. Arizona, their closer, it's 9 straight save opportunities going back to 2020. But he comes in trying to keep the Cardinals off the board in this spot with the game tied at 4, and it's our Chevy call to the pen. Nolan Arenado will be the hitter. Extra innings, runner at second. That's Paul Goldschmidt. Daniel Ponce de Leon is throwing in the Cardinal pen. Arenado is 1 for 2 against this right-hander with a double. And the first pitch taken for a ball inside. The 1-0. 2 balls and no strikes. Nolan tonight is grounded out. Fly to center with the bases loaded. RBI double back in the 5th and a single to right. Will they get a pitch to hit? 3-0.
It's got a little bit of a tighter zone all of a sudden. Well, it lasts like 2 innings. Kind of cleaned it up a little bit.
Yadier Molina on deck.
Mike Eastbrook behind the plate.
3-1. Ooh, 3-2.
That's the one when you walk back around the plate and you say to yourself, I cannot believe I just missed that. And that has got line drive into right center field written all over it. I used to say the round ball and the round bat. Can't hit it square all the time, even though he was all over it.
Outfield straight away. They're deep, and the 3-2. Arenado hits it to short. Goldschmidt stays put, and that's the first out. Yadier Molina. Molina base hit, run scored in the 2nd. Fly to left. Infield hit off the glove of the shortstop Ahmed and struck out in the 7th. So Crichton gets that all-important first out. Reliever ERA is about 5.5 for the Diamondbacks, 4th worst in baseball. Wouldn't know it tonight, though.
Done a nice job tonight.
Molina pulls it fair down into the left field corner. Goldschmidt will score. Yachty on his way to second base, and he comes through here in the 10th with 1 out, and the Cardinals back on top 5-4. A 3-hit night for Yadier Molina.
I like this right there. He just goes out to get what he thinks is probably going to be something out over the plate. He gets a sinker that stays not down the middle, but stays up just enough. That ball gets elevated. That might be a homer. That's the kind of swing he was taking right there.
Now Tyler O'Neill. Molina's 3rd 3-hit game of the year. First pitch low. O'Neill 2-run blast in the 2nd inning. And the next 3 plate appearances, strikeouts. 1 for 4. Yachty running. He winds up at 3rd. He would have stolen that easily, and they just get O'Neill. He would have stolen that easily.
Why you swing then?
I agree.
Wow. Took yourself right out of an RBI chance. Oh, Yachty's frustrated. He cleaned him up right there. Look at this. All you got to do is take this pitch, and you got a chance at an RBI.
Now Sosa with a runner at 3rd base. He's been hit by a pitch tonight. And chops that foul past Yachty.
Woo. It's a hot spot tonight.
Sosa 1 for 3 in these spots. 2 outs, runners in scoring position. St. Louis 3 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Almost got hit again.
That's the thing, like just going back to that play with Yachty, that's the thing for Tyler O'Neill that is the game inside the game, right? That's a 1-0 pitch, 1-0 fastball, a foot off the plate. And you see Yachty run like that, you just got to take it. I don't care what the count is. You take your shot with 2 strikes. Just all you got to hit a fly ball. You're a hero.
Two and one the count.
And you know why he's doing that? He's trying to get to third for you.
Yeah. Sosa to short. Cardinals pick up a key double from Yadier Molina. St. Louis back on top. Our Chevy called to the pen. This could be the kind of pick-me-up that he needs to maybe turn around his season.
100%. 2 days rest.
Be on the mound shaking hands, and you're the guy that got you the win and contributed a big role. 5-4 our score here in the 10th inning with a runner at second, nobody out to start extra inning rules now. Marte, Escobar, and Peralta. Rojas will be the runner at second base. Lane Thomas, part of a double switch. He's now in left field. This could be a multi-inning appearance potentially for Ponce, and that's why you make that switch. Running out of arms down there.
Oh, you got a good point right there.
So Rojas, your runner at second base. Ponce de Leon has finished up his warm-up tosses. Marte 2 for 4, couple of singles and 2 runs scored.
I'm always curious as to what part of the game do you just play for the 1 run to get that tie back. I mean, if you're really trying to win this game, you're trying to tie this game up. If you're in a playoff game right now, you're bunting.
Exactly.
I mean, depending on where you are in the lineup, obviously most of the time, but they're clearly not in 3, 4, and 5, so you might be butting him over or trying to
swinging,
pull him over. And if he's a pull hitter,
run with a runner at second,
and you're a pull
hitter, here, don't you?
Yeah, and you're a pull hitter though. Maybe you just go ahead and let him swing. Hopefully he pulls the ball and take your chances there. But
that's your second place hitter, and then let 3 and 4 and take your chances.
100%.
Arenado is in. They shift on the right side of the infield. Goldschmidt playing back. And the 0-1.
He's trying to pull the ball for sure. There'll be times though that'll come up in the dugout, and before you walk to the plate, you'll say, "You want me to bunt here?" I've had Tony tell me a lot of times, "I just want you to get him over. You don't have to bunt. I want you to hit him over there." And when you're not a pull hitter, that's not as easy as it sounds.
Oh, 0-2 the count with a runner at second base. And they want to make sure they have their signs correct here. Ponce de Leon calling out Molina.
I think Yachty was making sure he could go out there.
You know the runner is at second. You know who's coming up.
I think that they might not have the right cards, but I mean,
how does that happen, though?
But let's just go back a couple of years when they didn't have cards, and let's just go, hey, second sign or sign after 2, or come on, don't panic. And
here's an 0-2 pitch by Daniel Ponce de Leon. And a fly ball lifted out to left. Thomas backing up, makes the catch on the edge of the track. And staying put, Rojas at second. And the Cardinals,
wow.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Jimmy, they got a gift.
Well, he got a gift one, and he made a good pitch. And he hit the ball the other way, and he got another gift. I was worried Lane Thomas wasn't paying attention right here. He tags right here. He gets there easy.
Why is he at second?
By the way, if he tags, he goes to third. If that ball falls in that corner, he probably scores anyways.
Exactly.
Or the worst case scenario, you're at third. I mean, I know you want to score, but you're supposed to tag right there, I believe.
The key first down in these extra inning games now, Escobar, and there's a strike. Wow. I mean, that's hit to the track, and I understand it's in left, but with the speed of Rojas, he's your leadoff hitter. He's at second base. He's got to be at third.
Can't ask for a better scenario for the Diamondbacks right there. It just didn't work out.
And the 0-1 pitch. Diamondbacks 3 for 10 with runners in scoring position. The 1-1. Two and two. I'm trying to think of every scenario as to why he didn't tag. He has to tag in that spot.
I was just trying to think of how 93 looked like it was 99 when he swung at that right there.
The 2-2.
Big hitch.
That's no excuse for that.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked myself. I thought for sure 100% when you saw the double clutch out there in left field. I'm thinking,
even if he is under it and
what's he doing?
And gets to it and just, plants the back leg and comes up with a throw, he's still going to get to third.
I wasn't even thinking about that. I'm thinking Lane Thomas right there just gave him the bag, thinking that was an automatic.
2-2 pitch. Soft liner. Arenado there. Cardinals 1 out away. In the final hole for Arizona is David Peralta. Peralta tonight called out on strikes, grounded into a fielder's choice. RBI double, came around to score in the 7th. Flied out to center. Peralta hitting .300 with runners in scoring position, .316 with 2 outs in this spot. Rojas, the tying run at second, winning run at the plate. The first pitch to him. Fastball high.
I think Bud Black left the game early to scout this game. You see him standing behind home plate right there? You're looking at the wrong monitor. It's like the doppelganger. See him back there?
I do
watching the
not.
game? Huh?
1 ball, 1 strike.
He's scouting the game right now. He left early from his game. There he is. Well, that doesn't look like him from the side.
What's wrong with you?
Everything. I've been staring at the guy for 2 innings trying to figure out why he looks like Bud Black right there.
There's a 1-1 pitch to David Peralta. The next by Daniel. 1-2, 96 on that pitch, and the Diamondbacks down to their final strike.
He has just thrown 9 out of 10 forcing fastballs up in the zone.
The Cardinal fans on their feet. The 1-2. And again elevated with that 4-seamer.
He just told him what to do and then he forgot. You wonder why the game's slowing down right here. Everyone's got to look at a card to figure out what sign we're going to go with.
The 1-2 pitch. Ground ball. Sosa there, and he makes the play. The Cardinals win it 5-4 in a wild one. Game 1 in Arizona.
Tell you what, Danny, that's a nice play by Sosa right there. If he doesn't come and get that ball and cut it off, Tommy Edman has a tough time throwing him out. That's a big play in this game.
The save for Daniel Ponce de Leon.
You called it. You called it.
Off to the post-game show. Looking forward to that 5-4 fun ball game tonight in Game 1.